up, everybody? Welcome back to another. Well, I mean, this might be your first time here, so welcome. If this is your first time to the Reps That Count podcast.
What episode is this? 5?
I don't know.
I think it's 5.
It might be 6 though.
It is 6?
Because remember, we had the lost episode. That was 1.
No, we're counting.
We're gonna bring. Okay, so we brought 1 back.
Yep, it's 5.
But is 1 gonna be 4? No, we already released episode 4.
Yes.
And then we recorded 1, so that would have been 5. So this is 6.
Episode 6.
Anyways, I'm tripping. All right, Adam. Well, I'm Valentz.
And I'm Adam.
Yeah. And you want to do the whole spiel about what this podcast is about?
Yes. So the reps that count are the moments in life that you either might miss or you might take for granted that you should be paying attention to. So a lot of people just coast through life, not really paying attention to these moments, even though that they could be pivotal and they could be these moments that add value to your life or actually are important in many ways. So we're going to talk about mental health. We're going to talk about today imposter syndrome.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. So Valentz, do you want to define what imposter syndrome is?
I will, but before we get to that, I gotta ask you the most important question of the day.
Yes.
I mean, we can't skip the question of the day, baby.
Yes.
All right. So, Adam, this question is not just for you. It's for our listeners, our viewers, and everybody. I want you to take some time to either answer this to yourself or you could put it in your comment section. Adam, what is something that you've done in the past week that you're proud of?
So I was thinking about this earlier today, and I'm proud of this, kind of.
Okay.
Kind of. So I had a lot on my plate this week, more than usual, and an old version of me would have self-destructed and chalked it up to, not done it, and then chalked it up to some excuse, but I got it all done. I sacrificed a little bit of health to do that.
Oh.
Really pushed
the sleep
aspect, and it's something that I preach so hard on, that sleep's important. But sometimes you got to do that.
Yeah.
And as long as it's not all the time or even close to most of the time, sometimes you are allowed to push a little bit for the things that you want. But I think understanding that you're borrowing energy from a later date is really important.
Okay.
So I'm proud that I was able to accomplish the things that I accomplished this week, but I also have to keep in mind that that's going to have a little bit of a cost associated with it.
All right. Well, good job, man.
Yeah,
that's awesome, man. I'm glad you got to complete all your tasks, even though you probably stayed up till what, 2? 2 o'clock?
It was rough. Today I was up at 3, finishing some stuff up. There wasn't a lot of sleep this week, which I'm not proud of, but it was necessary this week.
Okay. All right. I'm sure you'll be all right. You'll be all right, dog. Know what I mean? That's life.
How about you?
Me, I have a good one this week. My son's daycare had a fall feast or fall festival lunch type of thing. I don't think we're allowed to celebrate Thanksgiving for real. I don't know, but I was able to make it.
It's called fall festival now?
It was a fall feast. I don't know. It wasn't. I guess it wasn't technically Thanksgiving Day, but it was obviously like a Thanksgiving thing.
Yeah.
But maybe they had to be politically correct. I don't know. I don't get into that. But I made it. I was able to make it. And that's something I'm very proud of because before I had a kid, like I always knew that like I did not want to work a job that would not allow me to participate in things like that. And like I found out about it on a Monday because I don't read my email. But I found out about it on Monday. It was on Tuesday, like afternoon. And I was able to make it, and I was so like I was proud to be there for my son, and he like the moment I walk into the room, like I could see like his face just change. Like it was like because there's like all the parents in the classroom, and there's a lot going on, and the kids whose parents aren't there kind of have to sit and just kind of not do anything. But yeah, once I walked in there, it was just like a complete 180. Like he just lit up like a Christmas tree, and I got to spend like a good 45 minutes with him at daycare, and
that's amazing.
Yeah,
that's a big one.
It was awesome.
Oh, I love that.
So yeah, that was that, man.
Yeah.
So
I'm proud of you, man. That's a big one.
Thank you.
Very cool.
So now the topic. This is a big one.
Yes.
Very important topic. And I've had a small little social media campaign throughout this year specifically where I'm like, we're not doing imposter syndrome this year. And I posted that repeatedly, and a couple of people kind of got behind it on Instagram. But yeah, I mean, for me, like the way I would define imposter syndrome is really just self-doubt and just insecurity, right? And just kind of feeling like you don't belong, or you're not good enough to be where you are. Mm-hmm. And that's the simple Valentz definition. Like, I don't have a Webster's dictionary, but I know how I feel when I feel like an imposter, and that's how I would define it.
That was a perfect definition.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah, that's
awesome.
That's how I define it. Especially you don't feel like you're supposed to be where you're at. That can ruin some really good moments.
Yeah.
And it's perception, right?
Of course.
Like all perception. Have you ever dealt with imposter syndrome?
Oh, absolutely. Like, as a creative, I think like just the community of like being a creative, like that's something you have to deal with almost. Like, you don't have to, but it's easy to, because we're all inspired, right, by people who are like years ahead of us in the craft, right? As a photographer or videographer or artist, you're gonna look at, you get inspired by somebody who did it before you. And you're like, yo, this person is amazing. Like, they're just great. They're doing great work. So like you especially, with Instagram and stuff, like you're always looking at somebody else's photos. Like me personally, I'm like, man, I wish my pictures could look like that. I wish I could understand lighting the way this person does it. And then I present my work to my clients, and they're like, oh my God, this is amazing. And I'm like, no, it's not. Like, that's not amazing, but thank you. I give it a 3 out of 10, but you're giving it a 10 out of 10. And I'm like, and it's kind of hard to deal with, but over the years I've had, a couple things that has helped me progress, but we'll talk about that. But what about you?
Yeah, big time. I moved from New York 6 months into my coaching. Moved from New York to Orlando 6 months into my coaching career, and decided to open a gym with not a ton of experience as a coach or a gym owner. So that had its fair share of imposter syndrome, especially being I was relatively young at the time and leading this community that are looking to you for all the answers, and you might not have all the answers. And that was tough, right? Because there's other gyms with some amazing coaches. Like I've been surrounded by just some of the best coaches in the world, and to be on that same playing field, but you don't feel like you belong there was tough.
Yeah.
But I did realize, looking back, I might not have had all the experience, but I was changing lives. And I did have the unteachables and the intangibles that I still do have today, that make me a good coach. So even if I didn't have the knowledge, I wasn't trying to teach people things that I didn't know.
Yeah.
I was sticking to the basics and still having some really good success with my members and with my community and with my clients. So it's all perception, man. It really is, which is crazy.
Of course. So I have 2 questions for you, based on what you just said, right? So you say you were relatively young, mm-hmm. right? So now when you open a gym, obviously there's all types of people who come in, and opening a business, like, did you feel like there were people like maybe who were further along in life that came to the gym, right? Like maybe they had like a successful business and they were just like just older and like everything just seemed like it was in place, but then they're coming to you for for guidance. Like, do you feel like that had an impact on you at all?
Yeah, so, and this is common in the CrossFit gym space where you open up this space to help people, right? And you're trying to make a profession out of helping people and living a life of service. But you notice that you have the most broke down car in the parking lot,
Yeah.
So that comes with its own share of imposter syndrome in terms of professionalism, right? Like, you're supposed to be making a certain amount of money as a professional.
Yeah.
You're supposed to be able to maintain a certain lifestyle as a professional. But back then, there wasn't a lot of gyms making money. We were all just trying to get by, and there was some that were doing well, but in hindsight, looking back, none of them were.
No, they weren't. It was like they had like a bunch of money from people who believed in the gym, but the gym wasn't really making.
The gym wasn't doing well. It was a labor of love.
Yeah.
So in hindsight, I dealt with that a lot, and then I realized. So this was such a pivotal moment for me that I have something that these people want and they need. And that's why they're coming to me.
Yeah.
So although they might be super successful, I can get them to where they want to be. Once I realized that, everything changed for me.
Perfect.
Because it put me on the same playing field as I had a billionaire client. I have several millionaire clients, people that have done so much in their life and had so much success. And we have these 3 hours a week where it's just us one-on-one. And I was their guy,
Nice. Yeah.
So that was so cool. And I got to deal with so many different kind of people and saw the human aspect of them, where we all have the same insecurity. They're feeling the same imposter syndrome.
Yeah,
they're feeling all the same things as I am, even though that they seem super successful. And the more that they opened up, the more I realized that we're all the same and we all feel the same and we all have the same perspectives, And it's who can turn that off the fastest that wins.
Yeah, or not even necessarily turn it off, but just keep going while it's still on, right?
Yeah,
just
keep going. That's
keep
even
going
better.
while it's still on.
That's even better.
I don't think you necessarily could turn it off all the way. Yeah. And I feel like even when you do turn it off, like you'll get to the next level wherever you're going, and then you'll start to feel it again because it's like, oh wait, like I'm here now, right? Like I'm not a billionaire or a millionaire, but like I feel like you get to that first million, you're like, oh, like I'm a millionaire, like I shouldn't be because I came from wherever I came from, but then you get used to it, then you get to that billion, and it's like, let's do it again. Like,
I have a question for you.
Yeah.
Do you think a certain level of imposter syndrome is necessary for success?
Oh, I do. I feel like when you get too comfortable, you stop moving. Like when you like once you get in that comfort zone, you don't want to move forward. So again, like I said, as a creative, we get inspired, right? We look at pictures or movies, right? If you're a videographer, you're looking at these big motion picture billion-dollar films, and it makes you want to do things. You have something to look forward to, and it's kind of obvious that you're not there, and like, yeah, it creates imposter syndrome, but it also makes you like aim for something else. So I guess life is just about balance, right? Like, you need a little bit, but I
a little think, imposter, a little Kanye.
Yeah. Not too much Kanye, I guess. Honestly, I love the Kanye.
Me too.
I love the Kanye. We need more Kanye.
Yes.
Because a lot of people get, like, that imposter syndrome stops them. Like, it just stops you. But you, like, maybe, like, knowing that you're not where you need to be, and then taking the Kanye route of, I'm going all out.
Yeah.
Which leads me to like my follow-up question to you, right? Because I know like the history of the gym, right? The gym that you built did not work out at first. So do you feel like, I'm trying to figure out how to how to word this. Like, do you feel like you're in your situation, like the imposter syndrome, like held you back? Because like knowing what you know now, right? It's like having that perspective, like change. Like, would you have gone harder at the gym?
Yes. Because I had a backup job. Like I was still bartending.
That's the worst.
So I can lie and say I gave it my 100%, but my 100% would have been when you have to work on the weekends and you're working till 2-3 o'clock in the morning to open up the gym at 5. I don't care who you are, you're not giving it 100%.
No.
So I would have, we all have to eat, but I probably would have tried to eat less and just really go for it. If I had the full faith that this is what I should have been doing at that time. But I think imposter syndrome kept me in the bar longer than I should have.
Okay. All right. Now, what do you feel like fuels imposter syndrome?
It's that little voice in our head that it's a little bit of ego and it's always there. And it's always, at least for me, it's something that I battle, I wouldn't say daily, but even till now. Like, there's still like, are you really this person that you say you are? Like, are you changing all these lives? Are you helping all these people? Mm-hmm. And then I can quickly snap out of it and I can understand and reflect that that's not me, that's just my thoughts kind of thing. But I think it's that inner critic in all of us that never goes away. And I don't think it's supposed to go away. It's kind of what warns us from, keeps us away from danger. And it's like our protector a little bit. Ego's your protector, protects your fragile little ego.
Your feelings,
your feelings. But I also think it's important to understand that that's not you. That's your thoughts. And there's a separation between you and thoughts.
Oh, okay. I like that.
Yeah.
I like that. So I've had this different perspective on imposter syndrome, right? Like I'm gonna give it to you, and I want to know what you think. I don't think I've ever shared this with anybody else before. I feel like imposter syndrome comes from the fact that it is as easy as you think it is when you first start. Like when you want to start something, like it is easy. It is easy to accomplish goals, right? And everybody will make you, like the majority of people say it's hard to do something. So when you start, you go little by little, brick by brick, you build something, then you look around and it's like, oh, like I built this. Like it wasn't that hard. Like it was work, but it wasn't hard for real. Like it was just a 1% at a time. Like it didn't feel impossible. Like at first I thought it was going to be super hard because I was looking at the end result, but now I'm at the end and I'm like, I could do more. Mm-hmm. So then you go around the individuals who haven't built anything and you're looking at them and you're like, wait, these are still my people. Like I am one of you, but you believe it's hard. Like, you know what I mean? Like 10 of you believe it's hard. I'm the only one in the room that's like, it's not that hard. Like, is there something wrong with me?
Ooh, that's different.
Right? Like if you think about it like that, it's like what's wrong with me? Like, am I just pretending like it was easy, or was it really easy? Because everybody else is telling me it wasn't easy. Everybody else is telling me that it's hard to lose weight. It's hard to go to the gym consistently, but I'm doing it. I have a job. I have a kid. I'm finding time to go to the gym, but other people can't. Like, am I an imposter? You feel what I'm saying?
Yes. There's a lot there.
Yeah.
So I think there's two sides of that. One being, it's easy for I've only known you for a couple months now, but it's easy for you because you're such a disciplined person, and not easily distracted.
Okay.
In terms of, I see your workout regimen. I see you're on 75 hard right now. I don't think you're a person that goes out often. I don't think you're a person that just entertains a lot of distractions. So I think that makes keeping the eye on the prize a little bit easier for you. So these people that are saying that it's difficult, they're not putting in the effort that you're putting in, you know? And then I think the other side of that is you hit it on the nail when you said step by step, brick by brick. If you look at whatever you're trying to accomplish as only the next task that's in front of you, it's not that challenging. It really isn't. If I have this big, hairy, audacious goal, but I don't think about that, and I'm only thinking about the very next step, it's just a step, like any other step. You can step in the wrong direction, or you can keep taking one step at a time in the right direction till you reach your goal. So if you take it step by step like you are, it's not hard.
Yeah.
So I do think that's interesting. But the other side of that, the third side of that, is that might come from our upbringing, where maybe there's something in the back of our head that we don't think that we deserve success, and we don't think that we deserve all these things that we're accomplishing because we didn't come from much, and that wasn't something that was shown to us from a young age. For some of my friends, that's all they know.
It's success?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's all they know.
Yeah.
Their parents were teaching them finance since they were 9. You know, they got stocks for their birthday when they were super young. Like, so for them, it's like that's all they know. I'm not saying they're any happier. They're actually more depressed for some reason. But
I mean, I'm sure I know the reason. Yeah.
Yeah, but I do think that if success isn't something that you're around often, especially growing up, you don't see it as something being attainable and achievable, which feeds into that imposter syndrome.
Okay. Yeah. No, that makes sense. You spoke on like my discipline. Like it. I just want to say this: being disciplined is hard.
Yeah.
Like that's some hard shit right there.
Yeah.
But it's also not impossible.
No.
Being disciplined is still the same, brick by brick, step by step, 1% at a time. Like it's literally just, all right, if you want to, drink more water, if you're drinking 1 cup today, tomorrow drink 2.
Yeah.
And then you just discipline is something that you have to build. And luckily for me, or I kind of had to be disciplined, right? Like growing up, like you said, like there were certain things that I had to do, right? I had to keep that. Like I had to wake up Saturday morning and clean the house, right? Before going outside to go play with my friends. Like that was just it. There's no way around that, right? But like you could build up discipline. Like you could work on it. And you mentioned 75 hard, which I've done before. Like I did the whole year, which is like 75 hard and then 3 phases after. And that program is actually designed to help you build discipline. It's not something that's designed to make you lose weight or anything. And I'm not endorsing anything. I don't want anybody to go out and be like, oh, Valentz told me to go do 75 hard. I'm not telling you to do anything. I'm telling you what I gained from it. Yeah. And it's a mindset shift, and it's kind of scary. Like last time we recorded our last episode, I was on day 1. And I technically failed myself on day 1. Like, if I tell you what I count as a failure, you might be like, that doesn't even make sense.
I gotta hear it. Come on.
I went to Planet Fitness with my girl. If you struggle with discipline, do not sign up for Planet Fitness, okay? I'm telling you, it's probably the worst. Like, I don't want to talk bad about gyms, and I'm sure, it's like, hey, yeah, I want to start working out. Don't do that one.
Tell me.
Too much. There's too much. Like, they give you pizza.
They still do Pizza Friday?
They give you pizza at Planet Fitness. Bro, I walk in the gym, and there's like 4 buckets of Tootsie Rolls on the thing, right, on the sign-up desk. And I just grabbed two. I grabbed two Tootsie Rolls and I put it in my pocket, and I go with my girl and, help her work out. And then when I was leaving, I popped the two Tootsie Rolls in my mouth. I'm like, oh, fuck, yes.
That was a fail. What are you talking about?
All
That's
right.
a fail.
No, but here's the thing. I'm doing macros.
Oh, no, so it's not a fail.
I count the Tootsie Rolls. I, sacrifice some of my carbs. I'm like, okay. Like, I fit it in my macros. So I didn't get enough rice. Here's why I count it as a failure. I unintentionally ate the Tootsie Rolls.
Ooh.
Like, it was like, I didn't even think about it. It was just like
you fed into your cravings. You fed into appetite.
Exactly. It was just like I didn't realize till I got home. I was like, I'm trying to, like, I had my plate ready. I'm like, oh, fuck, I ate Tootsie Rolls. Mm-hmm. I got to give away some of my rice.
For these Tootsie Rolls.
Bro. And for that, I was like, the fact that, like, I didn't even think about eating the Tootsie Rolls, I was like, nah, I can't count this day.
You restarted the next day?
Yeah.
Yeah, good.
Yeah. So I'm like a day behind, but fuck, bro. And that's tough, bro.
I do not like it as a fitness program. I do not at all, actually.
But it's not that.
I like it as a callous the mind program.
Yeah.
If you're looking to build discipline, spending 75 days running that checklist every single day, it will change you.
Yeah.
And you'll be happier at the end of it, which I think there is no happiness without discipline.
Mm.
If you're always feeding into appetites, if you're always feeding into just the things that you enjoy, they end up controlling you.
Yeah.
So by abstaining from them for a while and saying no, you do become a happier self because you leave room for the things that actually matter in life. I wrote an email about it today, how comfortable we are. And it's all these comforts. It's constantly like we're just looking for all the different ways to feed our appetite and scroll and Amazon in 2 hours. And just more and more comfort. But depression's at an all-time high. So there was a study that depression has risen over 10%. Diagnosed depression has risen over 10% from 2015 to 2023. So in 8 years, there's been a 10% increase in diagnosed
and that's
depression.
Just diagnosed. So a lot of people,
exactly.
So a lot of people walking around without being diagnosed,
which is just big, dude.
Of course,
it's huge. But life is getting easier and easier. Now there's AI, and now there's all this stuff. Like it's just getting easier, and we're just getting more and more depressed. And I think it has something to do with the way we're hardwired and the way we're programmed. Where thousands of years ago, we were constantly trying to survive. We moved, we hunted, we gathered, and we tried to survive. We haven't gotten rid of that genetic coding.
Yeah. It's still in us.
So there's something inside of us that's like constant. That's anxiety, right? Like looking out for something, but there's nothing to look out for. So, like all this comfort isn't making us happier. Like we have to seek out challenges, like the 75 hard. Like I've seen, there's 2 of my clients have gone through the program, and they decided on their own. It's not something that I endorse. So they decided on their own. It's like, all right, I'll guide you through this program. They were happier people at the end of 75 days without all that stuff. Yeah. So I think there's something to. It's called voluntary discomfort. And putting yourself in uncomfortable situations for 2 reasons. One, you callous the mind. So once you are back in a comfortable situation, well, that's the second thing. Once you're back in a comfortable situation, you actually get to appreciate all this luxury that you have.
Bro, I can't wait. I cannot wait, bro.
Tootsie Rolls, all the Tootsie Rolls.
Oh, God.
Yeah. And then 2, you build a callus for tough things. So if you don't go through anything tough for a very long time, your threshold for tough things decreases. So now your ability to handle hard things is down here.
Yeah.
If you're constantly putting yourself in tough situations, like snatches at 80%, like all this stuff, constantly, when tough situations arise, you're actually prepared for them.
Yeah.
So I think it's important.
Yeah. It helps you just kind of be more calm, I think, in certain situations. But yeah, you said a lot there.
Yeah.
There
It's
was
complete
a lot.
tangent.
No, but it was awesome though. Like you said a lot of great stuff. It was a lot of great stuff. Like you definitely, like you touched on anxiety a little bit, and I feel like, again, like you are like matching anxiety with like, you know, like wanting to do something. I think that's important because like we do need to move. I feel like we need to move. We need to be like just trying to accomplish something. And I feel like that helps with your anxiety. Like when you're like in a flow state.
Oh yeah.
Like you don't even think about anything else going on in the world, man. You're just happy, like doing whatever even if you're playing video games, right? Yeah. You're just like you're accomplishing something. It might be digital, right? It might not be the best for your health or whatnot, but I think video games, like it kind of helps with your mind a little bit, depending on the game.
I do. I think they have that all wrong.
Yeah,
I really do. And I don't play video games. It's my ADHD. I just can't do anything for that long, kind of thing. But solving problems, that's like in video games where you constantly have to solve problems. I think there's something to that, and I think anything in excess is bad. But you know, it's like Sudoku or whatever. It's like young kids' version of Sudoku, which is fine. I think we have to problem solve. I think that keeps the mind sharp. Yeah,
100%. So, but all in all, imposter syndrome.
Yeah.
Right? That's what we're talking about. I feel like we're about to, we could go anywhere right now. So, but yeah, so like what advice would you give to someone like who might be?
I have a list of my accomplishments.
Oh.
And until I got this advice from a therapist. It's a list of everything. My old therapist. I don't have a therapist right now. My old therapist.
Yeah.
It's a list of everything that I've done in my life. And whenever I feel imposter syndrome, and sometimes I don't even need to look at it. I just need to think of this list.
Yeah.
And it's an updated list. So as I do things, I write them down. And that it goes away so fast.
Nice.
So fast.
I like that, dude. I like that.
We do so much and we don't give ourselves credit for all this stuff that we do. And it's the little things too, like helping people. Like if you helped a lady across the street, you know, like it could be anything. But I think naturally most of us are good people and we work hard and we're trying our best. And it's this ego and imposter syndrome that kind of just robs us from all this good that we have.
Yeah, appreciate your accomplishments for sure. And again, like thinking that it was easy, like it wasn't easy for you to accomplish what you did. It's like whatever it is, it wasn't easy, but you worked. You put in the consistent work, and you did. If it was easy, everybody would do it. You did what everybody else was scared of doing, right? If it was going to college and getting your degree, accomplishing, you know, something in weightlifting, you know, snatching something, qualifying for something, opening a gym or business, even if it's a small business, like you open up a car wash or Kool-Aid stand, whatever it may be, right? Matter of fact, go back to those days. Think about when you were a kid and you did things like that, right? So, like I know plenty of people sold candy at school. Like I was the candy man at school.
I sold Bubaloos. I sold
Yeah. That's a business, dude. Like that, take that as an accomplishment and, you know, move forward with, like you could accomplish anything if you have the right perspective.
Yes. I have one more, which is help someone else do the same thing. Recently, I've been able to mentor someone like once a week. And just give a little bit of advice and information and how appreciative she is of it. And you being able to, you don't understand everything you know until you share it.
Yeah.
And me being able to, you know, share this stuff that I've learned and teach someone else reminds me you do know some stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, and teaching people helps you learn too.
Oh, absolutely.
Teaching people helps you learn, man. Yeah, I really like that.
Yeah.
Like, I love that, man.
Yeah, so you're going to teach me how to shoot?
You did ask me to do that before.
Long time. We didn't even know each other. You were like, yeah,
right.
Yeah, okay.
What? I forgot what happened. There was something I did at the gym that you asked about it. Oh, I was taking video of somebody? I don't remember.
That's when I first bought the podcast stuff. That's
Really?
how long ago that was. Yeah.
Wow.
Look at us now.
Yeah, right? Then I disappeared for like 6 months.
Yeah.
I don't know. But yeah, man. I'll teach you. And then you got to teach me something.
We ain't got time for that.
We really don't.
Yeah.
I mean, like, you don't sleep anymore, so.
No, I'm going back to sleep. Everything's
going back?
done. Everything's done.
You sure?
Yeah, everything's done.
I mean,
I'm going back to. I like sleep, dude. I just had to get this stuff done, and I couldn't ignore all my other responsibilities because I had to get this thing done.
What time do you normally go to sleep?
9:30.
What?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, I put my son down, and then
You're
I have
gone
like
at
30,
9:30,
30,
dude?
40. I'm up at 3:45 most days.
Okay, that makes
4
sense.
o'clock. Yeah.
I'm up at that time too.
Like still up.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's my old life.
Dude, especially with the 75 hard thing.
Yeah.
Like, I'll be until like 2 o'clock in the morning just trying to finish my water.
Walking outside.
Dude.
Oh, it's a rainy day, bro. What you gonna do?
I'm gonna get it done. I'm looking for a pocket of drizzle because it's not gonna stop raining. I'm looking for a pocket of drizzle. And as soon as I leave out of here, I'm gonna go on my 45-minute outdoor walk, and then I'll go to the gym after that.
It.
So no, we're gonna get it done, man. What, day 7 or day 8, whatever day it is.
Love it.
Yeah, man.
Have you watched Luca, the Disney movie?
I did.
Okay.
The one with the fish.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Italian movie. So he tells him Silenzio Bruno, which is Bruno's the voice in your head, and that means shut up, Bruno.
Yeah.
But I thought that was so powerful in a kid's movie, which is don't listen to that voice in your head. Do
what you got to do. Yeah, that voice is gonna tell you not to. That's easy for me to not to. You know the hardest part about the 75 hard thing? I did it before, and I know I don't have to prove to anybody.
Bro, when you asked me to do it, I did it one time before, right? So when you asked me to do it, a part of me said yes, right? But a part of me was like, I already did it.
Yeah.
You know, like, I'm fine. I don't want to lose anyway. I'm good, you know? But it's so important to challenge yourself in ways, you know? But maybe I'll find a different challenge.
It's this one. It's almost impossible to do it twice. This is it's terrible. The person who introduced me to this program, I don't even think she did it twice. It's fucking. Oh, I'm sorry. I can't complain to anybody else, right? I had like 2 cups of water out of my whole gallon. So, yeah. What else, B? Oh, we got to give closing thoughts.
Yes.
You want to start?
I'll start off by saying my imposter syndrome led me to self-destruct several times in my life because I didn't think I deserved what I had. It's just straight destroy everything around me. And I almost did it again this week. So that's how, like, my mind is crazy, dude. And I'm constantly, like, luckily I have the discipline to battle my mind.
Wow.
Because I'm constantly dealing with this stuff. And that's why I was so proud that I was able to get all this stuff done. Because everything in my being said, don't do it. Don't stay up. You don't have to do this. You're fine. Like, you're comfortable. Like, for what? Go back to bed. And I did it.
Wow.
So, don't self-destruct.
Damn.
Yeah.
That's good. I would say more Kanye.
More Kanye. I love that.
You know what I mean? More Kanye, man. Like, I mean, you don't have to be an asshole, but you can keep Kanye, you know what I mean? Be Kanye in your head. How about we replace replace Luca with Kanye?
Yeah.
Or is it Luca? No. Bruno.
Bruno.
You just say Bruno. Yeah.
Kanye.
Nah, you want Kanye to talk.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, you want Kanye to tell you to keep going.
I'll tell you what, I do have a little bit of Kanye in me now. Like sometimes I'm just like, I'll coach and I'll be like, that was great. It's phenomenal.
Oh man,
absolutely phenomenal.
That was amazing. I killed that shit. I killed that shit. I do that a little bit with my lifting. Yeah. Like when I get a good lift in, I'm like, hell yeah. That was it might have been 70%, but that shit was nice.
And then there's some 13-year-old Asian girl that's just bam. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to do that.
Actually, it would probably be a 13-year-old American girl.
Yeah?
Yeah.
They're getting good? They're getting good?
Listen, I don't know if you know this, and I'm going to hurt some feelings. Women run strength sports in America.
I didn't know that. I did not
look
know
around. That. Just pick a strength sport. Strongman, like whatever. I'm telling you right now, hot take. Women run strength sports in America.
Oof.
Right? Like, think about this, right? Perspective. Just think about it. If you ever see like a female post something, like, you know, she's lifting, there'll be a dude, oh, hey, don't do that. You're going to look like a man. Then you click on the profile picture, and what do they look like?
Yeah,
right? Mm-hmm. They don't look like the man that they think this girl is going to look like, right? And it's like, yo, what are you talking about? Mm-hmm. But in weightlifting, specifically in the U.S., I would say it's like a 3-to-1.
Wow.
When it comes to people who register. Like, yes, women are out here.
You know, I love when I'm in the gym and there's a new member that has never done this before, and she's a mom of 3 kids. I'm talking about someone in specific, but she's a mom of 3 kids. And she comes into this, and she didn't know how much strength she had. Mm-hmm. And finding that and watching her find that and watching that, like, give her confidence and watching her evolve, her, like, taking her power back is beautiful.
Listen, ladies, if you're listening, please know, like, I don't know who's hiding this from you, but women are, like, we got 2 silver medals for weightlifting in the Olympics.
It's amazing.
Women. Yeah.
That's amazing. That's amazing.
Yeah. So, yeah, I don't know. Just imposter syndrome. Like, you can do it. Like, don't compare yourself too much to somebody's, you know, year 10. Get inspired, but don't get discouraged.
Just focus on the next step.
Yeah, step by step, man. Anything else?
That was it. This was a good one.
I think so too, man. I'm hungry.
We'll do it again next week.
Yeah. There we go. Wait. Let's go.